Excuse me. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today, we are going to be talking about self love and how to handle relationships, okay? Because we're going to be talking about romance, childishness, and irresponsibility. Um, I'm probably going to make this into a dark mind butterfly kind of video, so this either will be like for my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, or for my Facebook and TikTok. Because for Instagram, I have to do 20 minutes or less. So let me try to wrap up this introduction and then we can get started, okay? All right. For you guys who don't know who I am, hi, my name is Nix Marikuma, and I am the owner of Marikuma Healing, where we work on mental health, emotional health, physical well being, and spiritual growth, as well as protections and just being ourselves, right? I do talk a great deal about mental, emotional, and physical disabilities. One of my major disabilities I talk about is glaucoma. I have suffered with it personally. I have what they call secondary. So that means instead of open angle, where the pressure builds up slowly and starts pinching your nerves through time, or closing angle, where their fluid is blocked in your eyes, right? And it builds up quickly and then it messes up your optic nerve, which is your nerves that connect your eyes to your brain, okay? Much like these headphones, right? So if you have like headphones like these, think of the earbuds as your eyes and the cords or the wires, right, that connect them to the main one. These two are your optic nerves. And this is your brain, okay? So when your nerves are being pinched, either by fluid or by pressure building up in your eyes, it can really fuck with how you see things. And again, I suffered with it for like 27 to 28 years, possibly going into 29. I got it when I was 2 and 3. I complained to my mom about my eyes and everything, and she was like, all right, well, let's go to the doctor. The doctor gave me the glaucoma test, and they're like, yeah, she has it. All right. Now, sometimes you can have one glaucoma and then start developing another type of glaucoma, and then it turns into secondary. Okay. For me, I think it was more of like the pressure. And then as I got older, it turned into like, oh, yeah, no. See, when you were younger, it was this way. As you got older, it developed. Now you have a 2 for 1, two types of glaucoma for the price of one, right? And so it affected my mental health, my emotional well being. And I talk about it from time to time. It's been a really long time since I've done a glaucoma video. Believe and receive, I will get there and I will do it. We also talk about depression, anxiety, anger, rage, how to handle mood swings, how to handle like toxic, ugly thoughts when you're not confident, because sometimes life is really hard, it gets you down. And instead of blaming the people who are the ones in there because you don't want to make everybody angry, you assume that you can take in all those harsh words. And then we end up cursing ourselves out, saying we're not good enough, we're pathetic, we're weak, blah, blah. And it really messes with our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well being. You know what I mean? I teach you guys how to be nicer to yourself and to love yourself and to be easy. You're one person, baby. And just like I tell my siblings and some of my friends, at the end of the day, are you doing your best? As long as you're doing your best and you are trying, do you. You're not supposed to be perfect, baby. You're not in this world to be God and Jesus and the Holy Ghost and the divine gods and goddesses among us. You're not supposed to be that way. You're human. We're flawed. I have lots of flaws and mistakes and dents and scratches, some physical, some mental, some emotional. At least most of them are spiritual scars, but it is what it is. The thing is that at the end of the day, I try my best. Just like you try your best and you're doing what you can. Okay, so be easy on yourself. Be nice to yourself. You're doing good. Those are the things that I do for my videos and my business. I also read cards, playing cards, just like how you see tarot readers and oracle deck readers and things of that nature, right? Those spiritual cards. I do my card readings with playing cards. You can do that if you are wanting to practice witchcraft and things and you're interested in learning how to read cards. but you don't want people to know what you're doing. Playing cards will help you get it better, okay? And then eventually you can have your tarot cards and things. I think I've heard a few people who've done it, been like, each type of card deck that you have reads different. Like oracle decks can give you a different type of energy when you're reading them. For me, when I'm reading my playing cards, it's kind of like talking to like a bestie, okay? Like somebody that you gossip with and be like, girl, girl, girl. And they'll be like, this is what's going on here. This is some spiritual bullshit. And I'm like, oh, that's for me, that's what it sounds like, okay? Like I hear it and I see it and I sense it and feel it and all that. Like I have different clear senses to help me navigate what the universe is telling me through my card readings, which is exactly what it is. I'm asking from the higher power. The higher power gives me these cards. I read out the situation and I go by what I feel and what I see and sense, and I give it to you guys the best way that I can. That being said, anybody can read cards, anybody can do magic, anybody can be a witch. We also do witchy vids. We talk about energies and chakras and cleansing and protection and how to embrace your witchy flow. Whether you are a witchy king, a witchy queen, or a bodacious, sexy royal in between, and you're just learning magic. You tried Hogwarts, didn't work out, said, fuck it, I'm gonna do me. You know? Anybody can do it. I really strongly believe that anybody can do it. You don't have to be born in a magical family. Now, does it help? Sure, but a lot of us don't have that. You know what I mean? Some of us are just learning how to do it on our own. Like, I'm learning how to do this on my own. I'm figuring it out. So, what I figure out, I try to help you guys figure out too, right? Anywho, yeah, this is gonna be a TikTok and YouTube video. It's not gonna be enough for Instagram. So sorry, Insta, don't worry. You guys are coming in next. So like I was saying, right? These are my introductions. I read palms, personality palm readings is what I do. I do card readings, any and all readings is fine. And I offer counseling and advice. We do a lot of mind, body, soul healing videos and much, much more. So if you like those things and magic, okay, subscribe. Please. It helps my business grow. I appreciate the love and support. Now, without further ado, let's talk about self love and relationships, okay? Because we're going to be talking about romance, childishness, and irresponsibility, we're kind of tackling the romance part first, okay? And I think when it comes to romance, there is like infatuation, right? There is like different styles of love. A lot of people think that, oh my goodness, well, they love me, da da da. People can love you, okay? I've loved a lot of people. And when I was younger, I thought the way that I loved people was right, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? I didn't love people the right way. And sometimes loving somebody isn't enough. Relationships take work. And before you jump into a relationship with another person, whether it's a queen, a king, or a royal in between, whatever it may be, you should probably work on a relationship with yourself. I got out of a narcissistic relationship when I was younger. Okay, again, I'm 30. I'm going to be 31 this year. I've been here for a few decades. Unfortunately, I'm from the 90s or the 19th century, so I've seen a lot of shit. It has not been like a midlife crisis per se. It's just been a midlife life. Like, oh, there's always a constant crisis or whatever, whatever. And I'm just kind of like, okay. Anyways, jokes aside, let's be honest about it. I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't love who I was. I didn't like how I looked. I thought I was ugly. I thought I was insignificant and I'm pathetic and that nobody's going to love me. And so when I get into a relationship, I should enjoy it as fast as possible because it will never last. I'm unlovable, right? Everybody just loves me because they want to use me for something. It could never come to my mind that somebody would actually be in a relationship with me because they actually like who I am. Not because I'm pretty, not because I'm cute, not because of money, but just me, right? When I was younger, I didn't understand that. I also didn't understand when you got out of a narcissistic or abusive or toxic relationship, right? Again, I started dating when I was like 19 going on 20. Okay. Especially like I started when I was 20. I was 19 and then I turned 20 and then I started my first boyfriend and all that. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out because it was both of us, okay? It was both of us. I'm not gonna lie. It was them and it was me. I was very hot headed. I was very impatient. I didn't understand about compromising. I assumed that because I'm a lady, I'm always right. So, da 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 da. If you've been there, if you've been there, you've been there. If you have somebody like that, you know how difficult it is to deal with someone like that, right? Okay, we're being honest. I'm not going to go over there and lie to you guys because I don't think lying about life situations is going to help anybody, right? And I can laugh about it now. I'm telling you guys that I'm okay with being used against me in the court of people. Now, that being said, okay, I started dating and I didn't understand that my body and my mind was used to constantly being under threats. I have to survive. I have to do everything, right? I didn't understand about trauma responses. Nobody came and held my hand and said, you know what, when you get out of a narcissistic or abusive relationship, these are some things you're going to be experiencing. I figured that shit out later on in life, okay? I get out of one relationship, I go to the next relationship. I get out of that relationship, I go to this relationship. That relationship didn't work. I run to the next, and 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 the next. And then eventually I got tired, right? I was like, man, every person that I fall in love with doesn't work. It's not coming together. What am I doing wrong? Why is this happening to me? Right? And I think somebody had given me advice to be like, yo, maybe if you sit down and just take like a year or so for yourself and work on yourself a little bit more, you may actually start attracting better things. Okay. And also, I was really angry like all the time. And so being in a relationship with somebody and you're always upset, right? You're always angry and hurt and you're going through your own shit and what your anger will scare away your relationship. If you're an angry woman, you are going to unknowingly or knowingly take your anger out on your partner, whoever he, she, or they may be. You will take it out and you will feel awful and guilty about it because you'll be like, man, I'm not this person. I didn't mean to. You will apologize. You'll lose your temper again and you'll hurt them emotionally. Okay? It's like yo yo's. Oh, it's just my mom. Okay. So it's like a yo yo, right? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I hate you. I wish you'd leave. No, please come back. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. 2 months by. Right? That's emotional manipulation and is abuse. And it hurts. Like it sucks that whenever you go through hardship and you don't deal with it, you end up hurting people the same way, right? So for my narcissistic relationship, it was all about like mental and emotional manipulation. It was constantly guilting me. It was like, oh, this is all your fault. You did, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. I tried to make this person happy. I tried to bend over backwards to please. And I stayed in there for so long. And when you stay in a relationship for a really long ass time, especially when again it's abusive and toxic, right? You hate the person for hurting you, but you can't hate the person more than you hate yourself. Okay? I hated myself. I hated myself. I hated myself that I stayed in there for 6 to 7 years and that I tolerated and put up with so much shit. And I killed myself over and over and over again. The innocence that I had when I came into that relationship. And then, like, the tar and toxic nastiness that I got out of and that I brought with me, right? Because I moved. I moved out. I stayed with a friend. I'm doing my own thing. I'm like, I finally get to do whatever I want. I don't have to do everything for other people. Da 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 da. But I didn't understand that I was bringing in that anger and that pain and that rage and that hurt and that abuse. I didn't know that I was bringing it in. You know what I mean? If you don't deal with your trauma and you don't deal with healing yourself before you get into a relationship and really understand what a relationship is, you will hurt your person. You can find the right person. You can find the person you asked for and pray to the gods and goddesses and the divine and the Holy Ghost and Jesus and the Lord. You can get the perfect person, but it will not last if you don't know how to treat somebody. And how can you treat somebody and give somebody something that you don't have? I couldn't love my partners the way that they needed me to. And I've been in the on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again, off again, on again relationship. I'm not ashamed. I did it. You know what I mean? It's there. You guys can learn off of me, okay? You guys can look at me and be like, I'm not going to be like Nyx. Listen, I'm not going to fuck up like you fucked up, bro, okay? I'm saving myself from that bullshit. It's okay. You guys can even laugh about the stories I'm telling you. It's true. So I got to a point where I got tired. I got tired of going in off again, on again relationships. I got tired of my relationships not sticking. I got tired of not only my relationships and like, like love life, but also my family life. I was so mean to them because I was so angry. And until I learned how to deal with my anger and I learned how to forgive myself and be like, look, I stayed in because at the time I was a guardian for a kid, okay? That's what I can say. I was guarding somebody. And I stayed in for that because I assumed that I could just hold on a little bit longer and, do all these things and it would be fine. I'll eventually get to have all the things that I want or give up on my hopes and dreams because if I have hope and it's not working it's just going to hurt more. So you know what, it's fine, I'm good, I don't need it, it's just a dream, it's just a fantasy, right? I swear to the gods and goddess, if you don't get out of my window and you don't get the hell away from my door, we about to have some motherfucking problems. I am tired of you guys coming in my room doing all these things. There is no place for you here. Go. There's trees and all these other things for y'all to do. At least freaking park it, man. You're buzzing, man. You're buzzing. I have wasp and bees that freak the hell out of me. And for family and friends and like close people, I'm allergic to them, okay? So when they're around me, I panic. I don't have an EpiPen. We have organic ways to treat wasps, bees, and hornets, okay? And my skin doesn't get like a little bit swollen. It blows like a balloon, okay? It gets real ugly. And for whatever the fucking reason, they like to squeeze in through my stuff, fly around, punk me, and then try to get out, and they can't get out. And then I have to open the door and talk them out just for them to do it back again. So, yeah. Anywho, let's get back on it, right? So, I had to learn how to forgive myself. It's really funny how we can forgive other people, right? We can forgive the people for backstabbing us and betraying us and abusing us and putting us into all sorts of madness, right? Because I promise you, a lot of us have forgiven a lot of people over time, right? We've forgiven them. We've been like, oh, it's okay. Especially if you're like a Christian, because I used to be like a Christian. I'm not anymore. I'm not saying that I'm against the Lord, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. It's just, it's not for me. I believe in the universe. I believe in the cosmic flow and the nature of things, right? Like we're all connected by a higher divine power. And, it's just infinite gods and goddesses and higher beings and divine entities and spirit from other dimensions and realms. I believe in that. I don't think that there's just one person above us all. I think there's infinite beings above us, around us, within us. You know, that's my belief. Anywho, hmm, I am fighting a small cold. Anywho, I know this is gonna be some weird ass video for you guys, but like I was saying, um, forgiving myself was hard because I blamed myself. I'm like, you're a grown ass person. You're an adult now. You're supposed to do better. Nobody will understand you. You probably did something to deserve it, right? This is all your fault. Because it's easy to blame yourself than to blame the person that did all this to you. Because sometimes when you blame somebody or put them, not really blame them, when you hold them accountable, right? Like, I hold you accountable for abusing me all these fucking years and putting me in a situation or making me feel like I have to be in a situation where I have to sacrifice my whole being just to do these things, right? I had to sacrifice my hopes and dreams to provide for somebody else and endure through this. I didn't ask to be put in a situation like that. It just happened, right? And there's a lot of anger towards the person who did it and people I felt like who were kind of accountable for it, and of course myself. So when I learned on forgiving myself and being gentle to myself, I learned how to talk nicely. I learned how to be like, okay, I know that there's some things that you're going to be able to work through, and then there's going to be some things that you're not going to be able to work through, and that's okay. We'll take it one day at a time. I forgive myself for staying in that relationship as long as I did. I forgive myself for being vulnerable and hurt. I forgive myself for not knowing what I know now. And I allow myself to cry because a lot of my anger, like I really want people to understand, your anger is not just because you woke up in the morning, you said, you know what, today, fuck it, I'm going to be angry all day long. No, a lot of times your anger comes from pain. It comes from a place of pain. It comes from a place of hurt. It comes from a place of sadness and not being heard. So when you're not being heard and you're very sad and you're being neglected, then it turns into rage. It turns into aggression. It turns into wrath. It turns into anger because now everybody's going to hear you. Think of it like a whimper and a roar. My sadness is a whimper. Okay. My sadness is a whimper. It's small, but powerful and deep, like a roaring sea and ocean, but you don't see the depths of that sadness. Then it becomes a wave and a tsunami. That's the rage. That's the anger, right? It came from this. It manifested into that. Okay. So when we're out here and you see a lot of angry people, they're really just sad people. They're scared people. They're hurt people. They don't know how to express themselves because when they tried, it didn't work. So instead of going over there, keep on trying, it turned into something that you will be hearing, right? Everybody heard me when I was angry. Everybody feared me when I was upset. Okay, I had power. I didn't have to go over there and be afraid anymore because now people are afraid of me. And that's great for a while, but then you get to a point where you don't want people to be afraid of you. You don't want people to be afraid of you. You don't want to be in a relationship where, especially like if you were afraid of the person that you were with, now you're the person that they're afraid of. You know what it's like to be in that shoes. You don't want somebody to ever be there. So when you learn to heal, you learn to forgive yourself. You learn to listen to yourself and accept your emotions. You learn how to work on your traumas. You learn how to let go of toxic people and enablers. Enablers are people who allow things to happen, knowing that those things that they're allowing to happen is not healthy. Okay? If you're going to enable me to go out there Okay? And be abusive to people, to drink and oversmoke to numb out my pain. And you know that these things are harming me, yet you are allowing it and you're giving me access to it. You are an enabler. Enablers are just as dangerous as abusers, if not more, because instead of putting a stop to it, you are continuing encouraging it, you are supporting it, and you are allowing it to grow even more and more toxic. Okay? You learn to love yourself and connect with yourself again because when you go through bad things, you lose yourself. I lost my innocence. I lost it. I lost the kindness, the gentleness, the softness. And I had to get that softness and gentleness back. And it's not going to be the same way as it was before. Some things you're going to be able to do the same, but a lot of things are going to be different. You're going to gain your confidence to do the things that you like. And you're going to respect yourself. You're going to honor your past version of yourself and say, you know what? This is who I used to be. I accept and love you, but I let you go. Okay? Because I can't hold on to that anymore. And you? I'm going to be coughing my ass off. Jesus Christ. So let's get into loving yourself. You're learning yourself again. I slowly started wearing clothes that I thought were cute, that I didn't think I would work on. I learned to not care what other people said about my body. I want y'all to understand, okay? I have like stretch marks all over my body because I had struggles with my weight. Like I lose weight really fast and then I gain it. And I've always been on the underside of the weight, right? And there's scars and scratches and dents and things that I have all over me that I used to be really self-conscious about. Like, oh my God, I hate that I have scars on my back. Again, not like I've ever been like through a situation where they just gave me scars. A lot of it's just due to like I have bad habits of sometimes like scratching without meaning to, like without really knowing that I'm scratching and then ending up having scars or just having like bumps and bruises and things because again, I'm clumsy, I bump into things. And so I really didn't like how my body looks, okay? So I learned how to I swear, okay, good. It's moving away. Um anyways, I learned to not really care about what people thought about me. I learned to love myself and to be like, okay, just because I may be a little bit insecure, I can go over there and wear the clothes that I want. Buzzing sound, guys. The buzzing sound is going to drive me up the wall. Well, I'm going to see that maybe I can get my stuff fixed. I just got that same one out, man. Anywho, I learned to love myself more. I learned to work on gaining weight and keeping my weight. I learned on grounding and meditating and things of that nature. And as I learned to love myself, I learned to connect with people who love me too. I learned how to be a little bit more honest in what I want and what I'm looking for and to not feel bad about it. Okay? Now, when you're in a healthy relationship, let's get into that. Relationships have stages, okay? Now, the first stages of loving somebody, especially if you're new to a relationship, it's your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend, and you connected with somebody and you're like, oh my God, I love this person. I'm so fucking excited, right? And you never experienced that with somebody else. It's always been like friends or family or whatever, but it's never been with like another person. Sorry, I'm gonna eat something really quick and then I promise you guys we're gonna get into it. Anyways, so like I was saying, right? When you're in a healthy relationship, this is how you're going to know. You have to have boundaries. What are boundaries? Boundaries are things that you will do and accept and things that you will not accept. Okay. For example, for me, I don't accept cheaters. Okay. I don't like cheating. You don't like it. You don't want to be in this relationship anymore. Sit down with me, yo, bro. This relationship isn't working for me. I cannot be the person that you want. And I'm just not in love with you the way that I used to be. Okay. I'll accept it. But I don't like cheating because now I'm feeling like, okay, am I like, did you cheat on me or am I the person that you're cheating with on the other person, right? Like it fucks with my mind. I don't like it. Um, I don't deal with toxic, abusive behavior. I don't deal with people who saying, "Oh, it's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously." Because every time anybody's ever hit me with that, it has always been abusive. It has always been abusive. Like they would be like some out of pocket bullshit, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, don't get so offended. It was just a joke." And I'm like, "Listen, I like jokes. I can deal with it. I can. You know what I mean? I can do it. Um, yeah, joke wasn't funny. It was extremely offensive. You know what I mean? I don't like liars. Now, if you need help, tell me. Communicate with me. If you're scared to communicate or whatever, we'll work it through, right? But lying, cheating, manipulating, I've been there. I've done that. I'm not going back to a relationship that way. You know what I mean? Like, I did too much fucking work on myself to get to this area. You're not about to go over there and try to fuck me over. Okay, we're not about to do that shit. No. Um, your boundaries are going to be different from mine. Okay. But if you don't know what your boundaries are, write things that you want and things that you will not accept. And the things you will not accept are the things that you're going to stick with. Okay. I am looking for a person that wants to build for a future, right? Some of you guys are here just to see, to test the waters. Like, look, I'm not really looking for anything serious. When they say they're not looking for something serious, what they mean is that they're not looking for a long term thing. Now, if it happens, it happens, but they're just here to date. They're here to see if it works. Okay. Now, if you're looking for somebody who is serious and committed in a relationship, if any man or woman or person comes to you and says, you know what, I'm not really for that. I'm not looking for a serious relationship. I'm just looking to date around, just to have some fun. I'm not sure. No, I'm not for it. I don't know. If it is not a yes, then it's a no. Okay. And I've done it. I've been with somebody that I used to be with for like a long ass time. And I was like, oh my goodness, well, um, if we are together, then it'll be fine. We can make it. We're older now. We can do all this stuff. And I believe, right? Especially when you're doing like past relationships, you have to understand that that person is not who they used to be. Now, there's going to be some qualities that they still have, yeah, but this is not the person that you fell in love with. This is not the person that you both fell in love with at the same time and whatever, whatever. This person is different. And you have to love people as they are. So if you're going to be with somebody, you have to keep in mind that they have their problems. You have your problems, they have theirs. I have my problems, they have their problems. Okay. And you have to ask yourself, is their problems, their issues, their quirks, their faults, something that you can handle? Let's say that you see them being very disrespectful to other people, but they're really nice to you. Believe and receive, eventually they're going to treat you the same way they're treating other people. Okay? You may say that when they laugh, they snort. They go, ha ha ha, right? Even I snort when I laugh. Y'all probably haven't heard it, but it's like a hearty sailor laugh, and then it comes with like a little snort, especially when I'm laughing heavy. Um, but yeah, are those things that you can handle. If they're not sure about a relationship, they're not looking for something serious, then you have to ask yourself, are you here for a fun time or are you here for a serious time? Because if you're here for serious people, those people who don't know what they want in a relationship, not sure about how to go on a relationship, not looking for anything serious, just looking to have fun, looking just to have casual sex and dating and things, they are not your people. These are the people for fun. These are the people just to kind of like, date to date. Okay. And I'm not coming against them. I'm not saying, like, oh my God, those people are awful because how dare you start just dating a day? Me. Yeah, man, do what you want to do. At least they're being honest with you. Thank them. Be like, you know what? Thank you for being honest with me. This isn't going to work. I'm looking for something serious. And a lot of times they'll be like, hey, yo, no problem. I got you. I understand. And then you go your own way. Maybe you guys can be friends and chill. Maybe you just, they're not the one. You don't have to be in a relationship with everybody. Okay? And again, this goes for like, queens and queens, kings and kings, royals and royals, or royals and queens, royals and kings, whatever it may be, okay? Maybe kings and queens are for each other. It's fine. It's fine. But know what you want. Don't go in a relationship dating if you don't know what you're looking for. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, maybe you're not ready for dating. Maybe you should just look for friends. And who knows, maybe a friend may end up being the right one. You know what I mean? Now, that being said, boundaries are very important. Have standards. What you want, what you're looking for, where you see yourself in 5 years. Now, the 5 year question, let's get into that. The 5 year question is this: when a woman or a man asks you what you see yourself in 5 years, what they're asking is what you are planning to do. For example, in 5 years, I'm going to have kids. I'm going to get married. I'm going to have a building. I'm going to be able to talk to you, a lot of you guys, face to face instead of doing it online, right? I'm going to be able to travel the world or whatever. And I'm just going to enjoy myself, my children, and my partner, whoever they may be, right? We don't know. I don't know who they are going to be. I don't know who I'm going to marry. The higher power knows, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a surprise. I don't know what my kids are going to look like. I don't know how many daughters and sons I'm going to have or what their hopes and dreams are going to be, but I know that I'm going to have a family, right? I'm planning for that. You may be like, well, in 5 years, I want to travel the world. I swear to fucking get out. Get out. I don't know who's sending it to you, but go back to them. I'm tired of you trying to get in this room, punk me, and then fly away. You're fucking with my life and I don't like it. Some of y'all gonna think I'm weird. It's okay if y'all do. Because, like, again, normal people probably don't talk to wasp and bees like they understand, and telling them, respectfully to disrespectfully stop what they're doing because I know they know, right? Y'all may think I'm a little woohoo. Maybe you guys are right. Like Billy Joe, maybe you're right. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I'm the lunatic y'all are looking for. I fucking love Billy Joel's music. Anywho, back to the seriousness, right? You don't have to be married by 20 and have children by 25 and then have grandkids and whatever. Relationship happens when you are ready. And a lot of times, okay, I'm going to save you guys a lot. A lot of times, the person you're going to be with is not the person you expect. Okay? It's not going to be the one that gives you butterflies in your stomach and oh my God. Oh my God, I'm here. A lot of times it's gonna be the person that you're cool with, you feel comfortable with, you're safe with, but you may not feel those butterflies in your stomach. I'm sorry, my queens, you may not feel the butterfly in stomach for the king, queen, or royal that you're with. You guys may have just started off chill and you're like, okay, and then it starts slowly developing into like, oh my goodness, I love them, right? I feel safe with them. The person that you're going to be with is going to make you feel safe. When you're with them, you feel safe. Your body, your spirit is calm. You know that this is your person. Okay. And my relationships, the ones that really works, it's for some time, right? Because again, I wasn't an easy person to fucking deal with. I'm not saying that I was like the main factor and cause, but like, your girl was not easy. Anyways, the person that you'll be with, most of the time, the right one, right? Will make you feel safe, calm. They accept you. They love you for your goodness and your bad. They will stick with you in your bad days and your good days. Anybody can be with you when shit is gravy, baby. When everything is nice and perfect and all this la di da di da, right? It's easy to be with somebody like that. Be with somebody when your life is falling apart, when you lost your dad or mom or somebody, when you're going through hell, when you're lost your job and you're trying to figure it out, when you have a bad mental health day and you break down and you cry, you get upset and you're just like, and they're there with you. They hold you. They have you, right? They're like, it's okay. What do you need? How can I help you? What can I do? Come here. Cry. Scream, let it out. That's a real motherfucker. That's the person you should be with. Because some people that give you the butterflies in your stomach is not love, it's warning. Your body is nervous. Why isn't your body in peace with this? Now, it can also happen when you're in a healthy relationship and you got out of a lot of shitty relationships, right? Because when I got out of the toxic relationship, feeling safe in a relationship was weird. Feeling safe with somebody that I could cry and be vulnerable with and break down and not be so tough was fucking weird. And my body was not used to it. And so it took them they had so much fucking patience with me. I remember I would call them in the middle of the night crying, having a panic attack, an anxiety attack, I can't breathe. And so they'd stay on the phone with me for hours till I relaxed. They FaceTime me, they show up sometimes and be like, hey, I'm here, what do you need? And it's a different kind of love. And it's the kind of love that you will remember, right? And even if it doesn't work out with that person, you'll still admire them because they were there for you in a time that you really needed somebody. Don't get me wrong. Having family and friends is also very important, but having that in a relationship with your significant other, whoever she, he, or they may be, is really special. Okay? You want somebody like that because a lot of people are in relationships for money, for looks, for status, for power. And though a lot of people want a genuine and authentic relationship, not everybody wants to be the authentic, genuine one. Okay? And people who are looking for serious relationships are just kind of like at that point, like, I'm at that point where if I'm very picky. I'm very picky because who I choose to be with is also going to be a parent to my kids. Okay? We're going to raise children. I be damned for my kids to go through the shit that I've gone through and experience hardship in an unhealthy home. Not that I ever had that, right? I'm not going to go over there and spill my business and start doing all that shit, but I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who have kids and sometimes it happens and you don't have any other place but to have them. Sometimes you have an abortion and then you have kids later on and then you still kind of feel guilty about that. Children happen, okay? They didn't ask to be here. None of us asked to be in this world with the life that was given us, right? None of us had that, but it happened. And when you have children, you need to be able to choose the right person. The mother of your children has to be a woman that they can live up to. Like, oh, for my son or my daughter, this is the type of person I want to be with, right? Your son will look at the mom and most likely be like, okay, this is how I treat women. This is what kind of woman I want to be with. This is how, this works. And when he looks to you as a father, you are showing your son how to be a grown up man. Okay? You, ma'am, do you need me? Okay, sorry guys, hold on. My mom needs me. Sorry guys. So I'm back. Like I was saying, right? Learning to love yourself and knowing what you want in a relationship is going to save you a lot of time. So learn what you want, go after it, be nice and patient with yourself. And when you're with the right person, I promise you, a lot of times they're going to make you feel safe. You'll feel relaxed around them and you'll get to build up with them. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be rushed. A lot of times, a rushed relationship is not the most healthiest. Okay. Now, once in a while, like you guys just like know A, B, C, D, E, and it works. Once in a while, it works. But a lot of times, taking time, getting to know each other, building it up is great. Because if you decide to have family with them, you have to understand that the person that you choose to be your partner as the person that's going to teach your kids things. Okay. So, me, when I become a mom, I'm teaching my son and my daughter or my kids, you know, this is how you treat people. This is what a home is supposed to be like. This is how you express yourselves, this, that, and the third. So, if my daughter grows up to be, I pray she doesn't become me, but hopefully she has, like, I'm a good role model and I teach her most of the things that need to be done, right? Okay. So yeah. Anyways, and whoever my partner may be will teach them how it's supposed to be the other way, right? Guiding them and teaching them and helping them grow. And also, whoever you're with also affects not only your children and yourself, it affects your family. Sometimes your family may not like the person that you're with, but if they love you, they will try. Okay, sometimes families see things that you don't see because you're in love with somebody. The honeymoon phase is when everything they do is cute. Then it gets tired and old and they're not really cute anymore. And you're like, oh my God, do I love them still? Yeah, you still love them, but now you're out of the goo goo gaga stage. Okay, now you're seeing them for what they are. And then after that stage, you're mixing each other's personality. I'm a very energetic, kind of laid back, like I'm outgoing and at the same time I'm not. I'm talkative, but at the same time I'm silent. And I have my own little quirky little personality, right? So when I'm mixing and matching with somebody, good news is I'm mutable. Okay? I can blend in. But there's going to be some personalities I can't blend in, right? I can't deal with. And we're going to have to learn how to handle each other's personalities a lot better and things of that nature. After that, you are building each other up, lifting one another, continuing to grow stronger and stronger. And then, you guys have a relationship that's lasted for a few years or even longer than that. That being said, that concludes my video for today, like especially about romance and things. I'm going to get into childishness and irresponsibility on the next one. All right, so as always, slay the day, be happy and be gay. Peace out, guys. Bye.